top 5 things to consider about college football streaming packages. And this is in the wake of Amazon, who spent $1 billion on the NFL, struggling in their first rattle out of the box. And we talked about it shortly, but, just some of these things you got to imagine. Or think about. All right, so the Amazon spent $1 billion on the NFL, right?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Are they going to spend $1 billion? Let's just use the Pac-12 for an example, because they're the ones in the water. Are they going to spend $1 billion on the Pac-12?
Not if they did it with the NFL.
No. Okay, so let's take down the value chart of what they're actually going to spend. So if they spend $1 billion in the NFL, like, this excitement about maybe being on Amazon might be a little bit misplaced, because it might not be the money that you think you're going to get.
Yeah, it's not even going to be. It'll be maybe maybe a quarter of what the NFL gets for the Pac-12.
Is it $1 billion
per year?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like God, not even close to that. No, never mind. Yeah,
it'll be like a 10th or 12th.
Yeah, like the 20th. Whatever. I suck at math. I'm awful at math, but yeah, it'll be it's
that. Not just the Pac-12. The Big 12 won't get much more than that either.
I'm just using that as an example because they're the ones who are, and the Pac-12 is the one we heard. They're saying like maybe going all streaming model. That's why I brought them up. Okay, number 4. Who are you eliminating when you go that route? And when I say who are you eliminating, what viewers are you eliminating? And you'll see the NFL, like, will the NFL suffer this from being on streaming? Like, will they?
Here's the thing for me, man, is like, okay, if we're going to use the Pac-12 as an example, I'm a Big 12 fan, but like, you're going to have to still give me something worth watching to go to Amazon to go watch that. And I'm sure as heck not going to seek out Amazon to watch Washington State versus, Utah necessarily or whatever. So yeah, like, I'm a pretty rabid college football fan, but I got to go get Amazon for the Pac-12. I don't know that I feel that way. Yeah.
So that would be separate from just what I watched last night?
Yeah, I mean, like,
well, you wouldn't have a Pac-12 passer. I mean, it would be Amazon Prime, I assume, because they're not going to get enough money.
They're not going to get like categories.
No, it'll be Amazon Prime like you already have. But like, am I going to go like, oh, the Pac-12's on? I got to go to my Amazon app, and I'm probably not going to be thinking that way necessarily. So they'd have to market it really well, I think, because look how much they marketed the NFL game.
Yeah,
like they marketed the heck out of that. So yeah, I don't know.
All right, number 3. Craig, I'm glad you mentioned that. What resources will the companies put towards it? As far as, okay, they're spending $1 billion, like, are they really going to market it that much? Or, are they going to care, like, as much as you want them to?
Do they just crap money?
They do.
Amazon,
Amazon,
basically.
So Amazon and
But
Apple.
if you're going to spend money, don't you want to promote what you're spending it on?
Yeah, but part of that, though, I think my concern is that sometimes, like, Apple and Amazon could buy something just to have it.
Yeah.
Has MLB really been a huge success on Apple? I don't know. I don't even think about it, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know they advertise pretty okay for that, but I'm having a hard time thinking of like, oh, the college football game's on. I need to go to Amazon Prime to watch that. Like, they're going to have to rewire my brain at some point.
Yeah. Number 2, quality. So, look, you can, for one broadcast a week, you can get Al Michaels, who's, in Cooperstown. I mean, like, he could be in like several different Hall of Fames for different sports that he's broadcast. He's the best there maybe ever was, total, top to bottom. You can go get Kirk Herbstreit, who everybody knows. You can, have this pregame show with Carissa Thompson and all these ex-players, and you can have all these nifty features. But are you going to do that for college football, which isn't going to make you as much, but might, bring some eyes? Or do you follow the ESPN Plus model, which most of the time when you find out your game's on ESPN Plus, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, and in the chat room as well, you're kind of like, oh, darn it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when there's just little misspellings of names. Just like it just feels very low rent sometimes on ESPN Plus. Just I don't mean to personally insult anybody, but we've seen a couple of different broadcasts in the last year where you're like, I should not have to pay for that to watch that.
Well, the worst one ever was unfortunately the game with Texas State and San Marcos. Yes. It was awful, and God bless him. And the guy took credit. I mean, he took responsibility. The one isn't part of it. It was just bad. But even the one last ever game, Albany with Baylor, there were misspelled names of players from Baylor. And you just can't. Someone's going to have to take charge of that.
Yeah. So that's what you might be sacrificing. And number 1, This is clear in every metric we've seen of measurements in the biggest games. The broadcast networks still matter, and they matter huge. And the teams they've chosen to carry have benefited from this. The leagues, and they probably don't want, like, they've built this up. They probably don't really want you to know all this, that the difference between a Big 12 game and an SEC game on ABC at 8 o'clock at night is pretty negligible if the teams in it are number 5 versus number 7 and number 8 versus number 11. If it's a good game on at 8 o'clock at night Eastern on ABC, college football fans are going to watch it, So what are you sacrificing when you go away from the broadcast networks? They still do matter. That's why, the Big Ten deal and all that, they're trying to get across all of those. So you are going to sacrifice some broadcast network time, and I don't know if it's completely worth it.
At the moment I saw the Pac-12 say that they might do like a big component of streaming, I knew that they were in a lot of trouble because everybody's going to have a streaming element. Big Ten with the Peacock, network. I mean, that's going to be a lot smoother because they've been doing broadcasts. That'll get good quickly. And there's already a lot of Peacock subscribers, and there's a lot of Prime subscribers too. So whoever I'm talking about that wants to jump into this game, I just think that the broadcast quality is going to have to improve immensely for the reasons that you just mentioned, and it's just a habit that people are going to have to get used to because it's not the normal to necessarily watch a college football game. And I still think ultimately, no matter how good the investment into the broadcasts are or what platform it's on and how easily accessible as it is, I don't think anything beats just regular broadcast cable for college football anytime soon. I don't care how much you think streaming is going to be like the future. It's not the present right now. It's a component, but it's a component and it's not the main course.
Bill Dinglespeed was saying that, listen, it's just too cumbersome to change from one to the next when you're trying to watch the streaming. Okay, Paul, thank you very much. Craig Smoak as well.